Langy faithful, welcome back to another episode of the Langy Buzz. It was a big weekend, not just for the obvious reasons, Easter, all that sort of stuff, but also because of the fantastic FFA Cup win over Whittlesea. 4-2, a come-from-behind victory, and we're going to get right into the nitty-gritty of the game for those that haven't seen it. Of course, last week's episode, we were joined by a number of goats from the farm next door. We only have the one goat this week, Wayne Wallace, joining us, and he's also flanked by George Howard and, as always, the head coach, Scott Miller. Stick around. I'm here with one of the heroes, I think he'll allow me to call him that, one of the heroes of our FFA Cup victory over the long weekend. Wayne Wallace joining me. Wayne, we all know, we've all seen the highlights of the game against Whittlesea. How many times have you shown that goal around? How many times have you shared it?
Well, I think I messaged Michelle about 3 times before it actually came on. Probably shown everyone probably 3 or 4 times each person, and even people I don't know. It was one of the good goals, you know. So as soon as it came on the internet, I kind of cut and pasted it straight on the Instagram, straight on Facebook, showed the parents. So that was it.
Well, take us through the moments leading up to the goal, because you're not always someone who's known for getting forward. Did you just, was there something in the back of your head that just told you to drift forward in that moment and it set up for you? Take us through it.
Yeah, I was kind of playing at the back just to kind of kick the ball, make the 10-men move. And as soon as I seen Sammy Orritt running down the wing, he usually puts a bad cross in. So I kind of gambled on his bad cross. And yeah, left foot zinged it in the bottom corner. So.
I can tell you're slightly pleased with it, but it was not just a great result for you to put that one away, but also a great result for the team, the 4-2 win, coming from behind. Take us through what you thought of the game.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, everyone knows if it's over 15 degrees, usually I can't run. But it was tough first half. Obviously, their fans have got involved, and we're having a hard time dealing with them. They got 2 goals out of it, and then we've come out second half. The play got sent off, and then. Yeah, we've kind of battered them after that. So, it was good to get the win. Yeah, first half, 2-0 down, you're struggling a bit, but we showed it was the best in the end.
Yeah, and I think it's a big mentality thing to, when you're at the risk of a cup set, when you're 2-0 down, to be able to come from behind. And it's something I've talked about with Scott in previous weeks about character-building wins. Yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that as a player. Do you think that's something that we're showing this season, a real resolve and strength of character in games?
Definitely. Obviously, last year it was non-existent because it was COVID. But the year before, we'd have probably lost that game. 2-0 down, we'd have probably crumbled. And, it proved that year we lost a few games where we probably should have got something out of it. And this year we just show that we kind of not giving up. And, we believe that we can win every game.
And, of course, your role this season has been slightly different to maybe what we saw in 2019, where you were at the forefront of every single game, starting every game, but you still have been a very strong performer. As one of the, I'm sure you might not like me to say it, but more experienced heads in the squad. How do you see your role in season 2021?
I'm just happy to be still playing. I got injured first pre-season game again, which I did last year. So I didn't train for 6 weeks. But I'm happy, to sit on the bench, as long as the team's doing well. Callum got injured, so I kind of got my spot, and then, the results have gone our way, and I got a couple of goals out of it, so, I can't complain, I'm still playing at this age, so I can't complain.
And we're all glad to have you still playing as well, but this weekend, hopefully you'll be playing against Moreland this weekend, the Zebras. What do you make of the opponents for this weekend?
To be honest, I don't know anything about them. I know what we're about, and so
I take that to mean that here at Langhorne we just focus about ourselves, and that's how we win the games.
Just focus on ourselves. That's all we can do, And if we do the right things, we'll beat any team that comes near us. So.
Well, Wayne, head out onto the training pitch and go and focus on yourself. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Another key player from the FFA Cup victory joining us now, George Howard, penalty taker, penalty scorer. How are you feeling after the weekend's game?
Yeah, pretty relieved, to be honest, mate. It's always tough playing away in the cup. I guess that's the beauty of it. You never really know if it can go either way. I guess Whittlesea came out and played really well from the get-go, and being 2-0 down at half-time, it's never easy. But going into the second half, the boys dug deep, and we came away with a result, which is always good.
Well, let's go to half-time. Can you take us into the change rooms? What was Scott saying? What was the team saying to sort of produce a turnaround in the second half?
Yeah, I guess we've got a couple of core fundamentals that we've sort of got together as a group and spoke about, and I guess Scott sort of referenced them at half time. Just sort of sticking to the basics, do what we're good at. Nothing too much really. Obviously, a bit of a reality check when you go down 2-0. But yeah, nothing too much was said. It was mainly just sort of getting back to reality and sort of remembering what our core fundamentals are. And I guess the second half we sort of went out and produced a good performance and got the result.
Yeah, you never want to be 2-0 down at halftime, but it was a super impressive comeback from the team. And of course, you were involved very much so in that comeback, scoring a penalty that helped to get us back into that game and eventually get us the win. I've already got Wayne Wallace to take us through his goal in specific detail, but I want to ask you a bit of a different question about your goal, maybe something for the younger players here. A penalty in that sort of situation in a knockout game, it's tough. You need to be composed. What's going through your mind, and how do you make sure you stay calm in those sort of spot kick moments?
Not a lot really, I guess. Sort of just try and clear everything out. Sort of at the back of my head, I had the penalty a couple of weeks back that I obviously missed when we played Brighton here. But yeah, I practice penalties after most sessions, so I've got a pretty sort of standard routine when I take penalties. So yeah, just sort of bringing it back to the basics and just making sure I hit the ball clean, to be honest, not really thinking about, I guess, the outcome, mainly just thinking about, just connecting with the ball.
Well, speaking of standard routines, this season so far has been not quite a standard routine for you because you have been playing up front and playing a little bit of a different role than perhaps you're used to, being a bit more of a target, someone who holds up the ball and plays it off to people around them. How have you found that new experience of playing, up front a little bit differently?
Yeah, it's obviously different to a couple of the roles that I've played previously. Obviously, when you play in the front third, you want to be scoring week in, week out, but at the end of the day, we've been winning games, so that's all it comes down to. I'm happy to go a couple of games without scoring as long as the boys are getting a result. That's going to be the main thing, and that's what wins us titles and wins leagues. So I'm happy with the role that I'm playing. Like I said, as long as the boys are getting results, that's the main thing, and that's what counts.
And I think everyone who's watching the games can see, the work you're doing in terms of laying, the ball off to other people, helping to set it up. And, the side so far has scored some fantastic goals. Do you feel like that front three that we've got playing at the moment is just really clicking with you, leading the line?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we're getting results, so we must be doing something right. So, yeah, I guess, how we've been playing, we've obviously didn't have a season last year, but we've trained a lot together. It just feels as though we're starting to gel a little bit more now, which is good, and obviously seeing the results. Pretty happy with how everyone's going.
Well, George, we didn't get to see you obviously in season 2020, but we are super glad to have you in season 2021. Thank you so much for your time.
Cool, thanks, mate. Cheers.
After a great win on the weekend, the head coach, as always, joining us once again, Scott Miller. A pleasure to have you. How did you find the weekend? Ignoring the football for one moment, how was the long weekend?
Oh, well, mate, it was great. Hit the beach, got on the jet ski. That was the benefit, wasn't it, of playing on Friday. So, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Didn't touch a ball, see a ball, think about a ball. And it was a great weekend. How was yours?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Of course, likewise, buoyed by the fact that we made it through to the next round of the Cup. It's the FFA Cup just is awesome. Yeah, and it's something that I think you would agree that we would like to make a deep run in and play some big clubs as well.
Yeah, for sure. so the next round is the round we got to last time. And we thought we were unlucky last year, or 2 years ago now, I apologise, playing against South Melbourne. So the ambition's to go as far as we can. There's no limit whatsoever. So we're looking forward to it. You never know who you're going to get, and the benefit of potentially getting a home game might be a challenge because we'll have to move away anyway without the lighting because it'll be a midweek fixture. But who cares? We go for it and we see who we get.
Well, you mentioned the South Melbourne game, and I'm sure your answer will be sort of straight bat here. But do you sort of think about what kind of opponents you'd like to get in the next round of a cup, or do you take it as it comes? Because I know you're an ambitious guy. You'd love to get a big scalp. Do you think about that at all?
Do you know what? I did look at the results. I think it was yesterday, and quite a few big teams have actually departed. They've been knocked out. So your Heidelbergs and your Humes, they're out. So, but there are still loads of competition there. And you know what? To be fair, we can't control it. We said that to you a few weeks ago. We can't control who we get, and we just need to prepare for if and when the game's pulled. We determine who we're playing. We select the best squad available, and we go and have a crack.
Well, it does still remain to be seen which ball gets drawn out of the bucket and who will end up playing, but. That's come as a result of the win on Friday, and at one point, particularly at halftime, that win didn't always look as guaranteed as it ended up being. Can you take us into your headspace at halftime or just before? What was running through your head as coach?
Do you know what? Pretty balanced. But I said to the players before the game, I was nervous about it because there were so many things against us. The travel time, 2 hours or so to get there from some places where the boys live. It was hot. Limited fans from our club could actually come because they had family commitments, and we respect that. But there was a big crowd there, and it was quite. There was a lot of animosity in the crowd as well. Their culture really is driven by football, and they're very passionate, and they made that heard. So it was a big challenge for them. I wasn't surprised that they came out and played the way they did. Very competitive as well, and didn't shy away from the challenge. And listen, it's reality. I mean, supporters sometimes don't understand that each team you play have the right to beat you and play well against you, and sometimes they come and perform, and therefore we have to react. We can't always dictate and determine whether or not the team's better or worse than us. They've got the opportunity to beat us, and I was so pleased for the group afterwards. You don't always want to be a team that reacts, but certainly the proactiveness in the second half to say, listen, enough's enough. We're going to turn up the heat a little bit and play to our strengths, and we did that. But I did feel in the last 5 minutes of the first half anyway, they started to fatigue and die, and their game plan was quite limited. So we changed our system, and we knew we were going to win it at half time. I felt that I was pretty confident we would win.
And is that a testament to the strength and conditioning programs that we've been running in the off season?
No, it comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to our training load, our intensity, the players' ability to switch gears quickly and recognise the embarrassment of losing to Whittlesea United. And I simply said to them, I said, if you want a weekend off in May, no problem. Continue the way you're going. Or if you want to continue in this tournament and play potentially through into the deep stages, we've got a great opportunity because the squad's the strongest we've ever had at the club since I've been here. And we've got some great characters, and sure enough, and as I said, the last 5 minutes of the first half, I could see it shifting anyway. So I did sense a shift, and I knew they would fatigue. So the trust is massive with the playing group, and as I said, they just turned it up, played with a quicker tempo, played a bit smarter, didn't buy into the referees' poor decisions or the crowd, and were far better and far more professional as the day went on.
And I know that this is something that you and I have been discussing on an almost weekly basis, but it continues to be relevant about this side and the games they've played so far this year. Wayne Wallace, we spoke to him earlier, and he said that perhaps in 2019, that was a game, that situation was something that this team might not have won. We might not have been able to come back. Do you share that sentiment? Is this a mark of the improvement within the squad?
I agree. We spoke about that. 2 or 3 of us said that in the dressing room afterwards, and it's no disrespect to the players that were here before. I just think the determination and characters of the individuals are different. We've got more dominant leaders in the group as well, and they recognise that games like this can slide by you very quickly, or you make a stance, and they certainly did that at half time. And Wayne said he had a very good interview, by the way, so I'll be watching back to see how his form was. But Wayne's been fantastic over the last 2 or 3 games. He had a difficult pre-season latterly, but what a guy. He stepped in for the team. He's doing his job. He's playing brilliantly. He's leading from the front, and I'm sure he told you about his goal, or he's asked for it to be into the clips. But he's doing very well at the moment. I'm very pleased for him.
Yeah, I think that's why I enjoyed the interview so much. Is just because I gave him open season to talk about the goal as much as he wants. But let's talk about Wayne just for a second, because he was, as you said, someone who didn't start the first game of the season, and you've had other players who have stepped up into that midfield in his absence. I mean, Rogan McGeorge is one who's come to the club and has been named man of the match in league games. It must be exciting for you as a coach to have that sort of competition and ability to rotate in deep midfield.
Yeah, it's big. The competition, when you hold a team meeting, which we will tonight, we have 23, 24 players in there, and ultimately it's a big challenge for players. They need to stay determined, they need to stay focused, but they need to be realistic as well in their own ambition, but also their current form. And Jamie and myself will choose the strongest side for every game, whether it be based upon tactics or player availability. It doesn't matter. We want to win every game, and just to show testament to that, from round 1 to round 2 we made 4 changes, and then again to the weekend there, just Friday past, we made another 3 changes. So you look at the people that have come in. No one's talking about the changes, the deficit and drop-off of technical quality and physical quality is not necessarily too deep, which is great for everyone. It's exciting, but the players need to stay focused and competitive for their spot. but I love what I see in the dressing room. There's a great respect for one another, and although they're fighting for those first 11 places, you get a sense that they're backing each other as well, which is awesome.
Well, maintaining, the theme of being the strongest and maintaining strength, let's turn our attention to the game on the weekend against Moreland. What approach do you think puts us in the strongest position to get another great result at home on the weekend?
Yeah, listen, respect to them is probably the best approach, and we do our homework, which we have this week, and we'll go out there tonight and put the tactical overlay into the session and make sure everyone understands their roles, and for me that's it, understanding their roles with the ball and without the ball, and understanding how we can influence the game if the first game plan is not going right as well. We've identified key areas and key individuals that we can emphasise and play to our strengths with, and we'll look to execute that. I'm so excited for Saturday. I think the year off has provided everyone the ability to rejuvenate. Football is no longer a chore, and it's something we really desire and want in our life. And when you're playing Moreland Zebras at home with the squad they've got, it's an awesome opportunity to play against some great players and just test yourself as well. And I'd love to be a 23-year-old player playing on Saturday, testing myself against some great players with a club that has huge ambitions. So why not stilt their ambitions slightly? That's my view.
Yeah. As you said, it's been so exciting. The atmosphere around the ground, the atmosphere on the pitch from the players has been pretty infectious stuff at home games. So I guess to that end, to those fans who might not have made it down to Lawton Park, and to those fans, even those who have, what's your message to the Langwarrin faithful so far?
Very simple. I mean, these players recognise and respect their role in the club. They all want to be here and represent the club with passion and desire, and they've done that in the first 2 rounds, and inclusive of the FFA Cup game. The discussions supporters have had with me over the last couple of weeks is, superb attitude, work rate, and you talk about the values of the club, which is commitment and respect and loyalty and work rate. They've been ticked. So, our benchmark is we need to continue those. So the supporters are going to see a brand of football that they're going to enjoy, but also the values of a supporter that they like seeing over the past in terms of the work rate, the attitude, and that just is a testament to the group of players we've got in the training ground at the moment.
Well, it has been a superb start to season 2021, and we do hope that it continues for a long time to come. Scott, as always, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.
There's been a lot of animal themes in recent episodes of the Langy Buzz, and maybe you're getting a little bit tired of farm animals. So this weekend, Saturday 3 p.m, we're moving into something different. Zoo animals. We take on the Moreland Zebras 3 p.m. on Saturday. Langwarrin Soccer Club are absolutely flying. Another big opponent for us to take on this week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, get the 3 points. If you haven't made it down to Lawton Park this season, you are missing out. Scott Miller will tell you, everyone at the club will tell you you're missing out. Get down 3 p.m. this Saturday to watch us take on the Moreland Zebras. We'll see you there.